What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be solving some simple equations and understanding how to go about it. So let's waste no time, let's go. Okay, what do we need to remember today? Well, we need to remember that an equation needs to be balanced at all times. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we're going to look at this equals sign as the pivot point of a set of scales. And whatever's on one side must be balanced to whatever is on the other side. And that has to be at all times to ensure that we keep the equation equivalent when we start to manipulate and change parts of it. Another key word is that we're going to be solving these simple equations today, which basically means we're going to be trying to find the value of this missing variable. We call it a variable because at the moment it's not expressed by a number, it's expressed by a letter. So let's see how we would do that with this first example. What we have to understand is that this variable is now connected to this plus 4. And we call this little plus 4 a constant term. And what we're trying to do is break it from the variable. So if we understand that on this side I have a plus 4 connected to my a, we need to understand that the only way to get rid of a plus 4 is by inserting a minus 4 as well on that side. But if I add a minus 4 to this side of my scales, then all that's going to happen is my scales become imbalanced and my 10 is going to be left hanging on its own somewhere. So what I need to do is I need to realize that whatever I add to this side, I also need to add to this side. So let's rewrite my equation as followed. I have a plus the 4, but now I have a minus 4 as well, and that equals 10, but don't forget I've added this negative 4 or this minus 4, so I now need to add it to the other side as well, simply like that. And what that's enabled us to do is it's now saying that my plus 4 and my negative 4 both cancel each other out because plus 4 minus 4 is 0. So now my a is on its own and my a equals 10 subtract 4, which is 6. So the answer to my first equation is a equals 6. And I can check that by just substituting this a for my 6 and saying the sentence all over again. And it's 6 plus 4 equals 10, which is correct. Perfect. Okay, let's do the same thing with this second example. And now I can see that my b variable is connected to my plus 7 constant term, and that equals 11. So same rule applies. How am I going to get rid of this plus 7? Well, I'm going to need to insert a minus 7. And if I insert a minus 7 to one side, I have to insert it to the other side as well. So let's rewrite my equation as b plus 7 minus 7 equals 11 minus 7. By doing that, both sides of my equation are still balanced. Perfect. But it now means that I can get rid of my plus 7 and my minus 7, leaving me with b on its own, and b equals 11 minus 7, which equals 4. So the answer to the second question, b plus 7 equals 11 and b equals 4. Again, let's check it by replacing b with a 4 and saying 4 plus 7 equals 11. Yes, it does. Okay, we're going to get a little bit harder now. Let's look at this third example. In my third example, I have my variable connected to this number without an obvious operational sign like plus or addition. So what we have to understand is that when we have 3a next to each other, what it's basically saying is I have 3 lots of a, or in other words, 3 times a. So this actually says 3 times a equals 24. So now I need to think, how am I going to get rid of this 3 lots of a? Well, I need to now think about the inverse of multiplication. As we had the inverse of addition was subtraction in this first half of our equations, now I'm looking at multiplication and division. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So if I'm going to get rid of my 3 times, I now need to insert a divided by 3. So my next row could say 3 times a divided by 3 equals 24. But again, don't forget what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 24 divided by 3. Now I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit because we wouldn't put 3 times a. It's a little bit amateur. We would just put 3a. We now know that means 3 times a. But what this has enabled me to do is I've now cancelled out my 3 times a by having the divide by 3, and I'm left with just a on its own. So a equals 24 divided by 3, which is 8. So my answer is a equals 8. And I can check that by putting it back into the start. 3 times 8 equals 24. And yes, it does. Okay, let's look at the hardest one yet. 3b plus 2 equals 14. So now I have 2 things I have to do in order to solve this, because I have my variable connected to a multiply by 3, and it's connected to this constant of plus 2. And here's where a lot of people can make mistakes, because depending on which way around I try and solve this, I'm going to get 2 different answers. If I break the 3b part up first, I'm going to end up with a very different answer to if I remove the plus 2 first. So what we have to understand is that the variable connected to this constant plus 2, so this plus 2 is the first thing I need to try and break off. So how am I going to do that? That's right, I'm going to rewrite it as 3b plus 2 minus 2 equals 14 minus 2. Now what I've been able to do is get rid of my plus 2 by using this negative 2, and then I can solve the next line, which would be 3b equals 14 minus 2, which is 12. And now what I should see is I have something that looks very familiar to my question 3, and I can simply just break apart the 3 multiplied by b by dividing it by 3 on both sides. Leaves me with b on its own equals 12 divided by 3, which is 4. And again, I can check that by replacing this b with a 4 and saying 3 times 4 is 12, plus my 2 is 14. Awesome! That's how to solve simple equations. But now it's your turn. Here are 4 more simple equations for you to solve. So press pause on the video now, take some time and try and solve these 4 questions. Good luck, press pause now, put your answers in the comment section. And there you have it. That is how to solve simple equations. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, head on over to themathshelter.com where you're going to find loads more videos to help you with everything that your age group needs to know about maths. But for now, guys, I'm going to see you in another video. Peace out.